What about now? Can you hear now, Miss? Yeah, it's all for you, Miss Carolyn. It's all about you. You ain't old. All right. Informal meeting, work session, even though we got to notice that. We have to schedule these at 5:30, after 5 o'clock for anybody that's working to be able to attend. But kind of low key. This year we've got monitors up for everybody. I know if you notice the board, we're missing one person. Mr. James Morris is in a lawsuit, and he's actually sequestered somewhere over in Warren County from what I understand. So he won't be here this evening. Yeah, bless his heart. Bless his little heart. That's right. But anyway, so I just want to offer a short word of prayer. And if you would bow and pray with me. Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for these good people who make a good city better. I ask that you, the vast majority of these people are public safety people. We would ask that you put your hands on their shoulders and protect them and protect their families and all that they do as they protect the residents of the city of Brandon. Give them guidance and Godspeed to be safe in all that they do. We ask a special blessing also on the board tonight. We appreciate them being here, getting here safely. Please be with James Morris, Mr. Baker, even though he's an attorney. You know, you got to bless the attorneys anyway. But dear God, we're just, everybody in this room is thankful to be here, thankful to be safe and out of harm's way. And thank God we live in the South, because I wouldn't live anywhere else in the world. Bless these comments tonight as we work through our budget for next year. And guide us, lead us in all that we say and do. In the blessed name of Jesus. Amen. All right. I left a few of these extra things laying around. One was on the cone of silence. I do have a meeting set up with National Weather Service on Thursday. I'm not quite sure what all they want to talk about, but we'll get to talking. You know, for those of you who hadn't heard, the cone of silence, when you really understand and look at this, there's on the front row, right on down here on the front row, we save these just for you. You begin to learn, I'm wondering, how many of you here tonight were here in April 28, 2014? Show of hands. I can still remember the weatherman saying, if you're in cross gates, take cover. And it never really dawned on me until I got to studying the radar that Brandon doesn't have any radar. And everybody believed at that time that storm was coming from Richland to Cross Gates, and everybody in public safety took off over here. And Rob Martin called me and said, you better get down here. He was down at PD, and I started coming through town, picking my way. I got over to Overby and Jasper, and I couldn't come any further. And I couldn't find anybody in red or blue on that side of town. It's because we believed that everything was over here. Then it kind of made sense when I got to studying the cone of silence, that we really don't have radar coverage immediately over the radar. So that's something to learn and keep up with. There's a few of these laying around out there. And the reason why I did this was to impress upon both the board and, you know, the board members, they can speak for themselves, but I can tell you, they appreciate every one of you. They appreciate every public safety employee we have. It's kind of neat having a night with just police and just fire to be able to say that and look at a lot of you in the eyes when we say that. I'm telling you, they mean it. The city of Brandon loves you. The residents love you. And it gets impressive sometimes when you begin to look at the number of employees that we have. Right now, the city of Brandon has 177 employees. Some of those are not listed in here because this is all general fund stuff. Some of those are water and sewer guys that you won't find in this budget. But in the general fund, which all of us in this room pay homage to, including Parks and Rec and Community Development and admin, public safety makes up 2/3 of all general fund employees. And that's where our money goes. And I've always said that. And I ran those numbers out of last year's audit that was approved some months back. And this is Liz's, so I'm going to take it over here. So, enough from me. I appreciate you being here. Kind of low and steady, but we'll turn this over now to Chief Thompson. Let him begin to work through the budget, and then we'll go through on the fire side. And if we come out of this, if you have questions that you don't feel comfortable talking about, or if you go home, wake up in the middle of the night and go, well, I wonder about that, ask them and get back, because what we'll do is we'll begin to parlay and come up with that budget coming out of next Tuesday night. We'll do it tonight, tomorrow night, and next Tuesday night's our last night. That'll be Parks and Rec night. And shortly thereafter, we will come up with a final budget that we'll give the board to approve, and then we'll vote on that August the 31st, Angela? Is that right? 8th of August? September, yeah, that's right, okay. So we'll have a public hearing the 31st of August, and we'll vote on it the first regular board meeting in September. All right, so there you go. If you want to learn something about where our money goes as taxpayers, please ask. Chief?
Thank you. Good evening, Board. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me tonight and go over this budget. I can make this real quick for you. This is almost a duplicate of last year's budget, and Brent has created me a cheat sheet which will bring you to where we are asking for some extra. If I can direct your attention to 500 office supplies. Currently we're set at $3,000. We're requesting an increase to $5,000. It's just that we've requested this increase before in the past, and we've always gone back to this $3,000. And we keep going over it. And with the things that the courts are requiring right now, different things we're having to mail out, just different office supplies that we need, we're having trouble staying within that $3,000, so we are requesting that extra $2,000. Any questions on 500? All right, 550. Dispatch chairs. There's kind of a story involved with the dispatch chairs. Let me start with the dispatch chairs. Several years ago, we purchased, dispatchers sit all day long. That's what they do, is sit. And we bought very expensive, very comfortable chairs for them. And as time went on, they didn't last as long as we thought they were going to. And we got some warranty work being done on them, but we may have to repurchase chairs. They weren't as sturdy as we were led to believe. Hopefully the warranty work that's being done on them fixes the chairs and we can continue to use them, but if not, we may have to buy more. And just buying regular chairs like this will not last a week in dispatch. CID expenses, things that CID, our Criminal Investigation Division, uses, which is their fingerprint dust, their fingerprint cards, their cameras, the thumb drives they put all their stuff on. You know, we've had a very, very busy year this year with things that we've had to investigate, especially with the auto burglaries and things of that nature. So the things that they're requiring to do their job, it's costing more money than it did previously. So we are requesting somewhat of an increase there. SRT expenses. If you remember last year, we started out asking for $10,000, and then the final budget cuts, we went back down to $5,000, where it's been the last several years. Sergeant French, how many times have we been called out this year?
Numerous times.
More than we ever have. We can expect at least one SRT call out a month, and there was one month we were called out 3 times. And with the way that the nation is right now, with your demonstrations, your riots, things of that nature, these guys have become more and more valuable, not only to Brandon, but the county. And at one point, they were all deployed to Simpson County to look for a murder suspect of a deputy. So the equipment they need that needs to be updated, the new stuff they need, the stuff they need to train, we are requesting that $10,000 again over that 5. Professional services. Let's skip that one for now. All right, 604, contract labor. We are requesting $4,300 for HVAC preventive maintenance. The new HVAC system that was installed, that thing is working like a charm. What we've also noticed is our utility bills have gone down a good bit I know that was an expensive system, but the money that is saving, over time, it's going to pay for itself. It doesn't use near the power that the other system, the old antiquated system does, so we are requesting that. Ma'am? 604? I got it. Where'd it get moved? Where is it? Oh. Okay. It's all good. 600 professional services. Which one?
But that's basically just the name of contract service.
Yes, sir. Basically, yes.
And it was less than what we had budgeted last year.
Is that who does everything citywide?
Yes and no. A lot of them do. The biggest one.
All right, go back to 600 professional services. We're requesting a significant increase there, and we are asking that so we can, how to put this, reinstate a program that we had that we want to get back to ensure that our employees are drug screens. I can't think of any way to put it. Reinstate our drug screening program. That's the majority of that. And those are relatively expensive, going by the extent to which we test or tested in the past. All right, any questions on that one? All right, 695 dues and subscriptions. Now, this is percentage-wise a relatively big increase, but money-wise it's not. $230.39. A lot of our court is being handled via the internet now in these Zoom meetings, and the $230 will handle the subscription to our Zoom access, for lack of better terms.
Are we purchasing that for the city as a whole, or just on a departmental basis?
We have one, well, anyone can use it. We do have one license for Judge Adams that exceeds 40 minutes. If we need additional licenses that will go past 40 minutes, we can use that.
Okay, as far as anything that's different from last year, that's it in a nutshell. I know each of you have had a chance to review the budget. Is there any questions you might have? Brent, is there anything I've missed?
The only thing that I saw was in 600 back to the repair.
And I'll give a little explanation with that. The light that you're supposed to have that shines up to your flagpole and illuminates the flag, at some point that was, the line that powers that light was clipped, and it has to be rebored from wherever the power source is, bored under my parking lot to the flagpole. And that's where the money's coming in, is the actual boring. So that's a pretty expensive repair for a light. Once again, like I said, you've had a chance to review the budget. I was down and dirty. Any questions, anything you saw that you need clarification on? Anything I said you need clarification on? Thank you. No.
Good evening, Board. Now that you all had a chance to review the budget, I'm assuming, correct? Okay. We did increase on several items here, on line items in our budget. If y'all just want to go through them like Thompson did, or suffice if y'all got any questions to start with. With that the case, we'll start with 510, Liz. On cleaning supplies. You know, with everything in the world going on now with COVID and stuff like that, our cleaning supplies bills, everything's getting expensive. That's why we increased it on that. We got 6 stations to clean. It's a lot of cleaning supplies, so. We did that. 535. Uniforms and clothing. We increased the price on that. Just in fact, we just needed to. We had added more personnel and different, so we got to go up on it. We're going to have a higher number this year than we did last year when we go buy uniforms. So that's the gist of that. 540 is on tires. If anybody has any questions or want to have anything, just feel free to stop me anytime. On the tires, we increased it. Just in fact, what we had this year and had to replace, what we replaced this year, we're going to replace a little bit more next year on fire trucks. It's just normal wear and tear on them. We're going to replace for a full engine on engine 3, and the squad's going to need a new set of tires as well. On specialized equipment and 550, we're going to utilize every bit of that money this year and go over probably the way it's looking. And so with all the stuff we had to fix and stuff we had to buy, we just asked for additional on it. On 555 on the medical, we have in there a lot of things in there. Some old medical bags. We've got to replace 4 or 5 this year. We've got equipment that's not holding up very well anymore. It's old. And our IO needles, we have 3 currently that are working, and they're about 3 years. They're at the end of their shelf life, and they could go out any time. So we added 4 of those to our medical supply list this year. We have 2 suction units at the end of their shelf life, and so we added 2 of those. That rapid intervention kit on there, Liz, you can strike that one out. It got added in there in the wrong spot. On 602, that's our lad tech system. That's when we do all of our scheduling forms and check trucks off on every morning, do our vacation and everything else on it. It went up a little bit this year, and we had to pay it. We're going to pay it in September, and we'll have to pay it again in next September. It went up, I think, $300 from last year. That's where we're at. It's going to go up, a price increase. All right, 605, the communications. We're going to go over the budget in that this year. some fact cell phone usage and the hotspot we have to provide internet for us. And I apologize, boy, I got a sore throat. It's kind of making it hard to talk. So if I sound raspy, if you don't understand me, let me know. I'm going to go to 615 and printing. Liz? We're going to, new fire inspection books, we usually get those about every 3 years. And we have to purchase quite, we purchase them, try to get, if you order a lot, the more you get, better price you get. So we try to order enough for 2 or 3 years at a time. That's what we do on that. So it's just time for us to get them again. Good. I'm good for now. Thank you. On 630 utilities, unlike Chief Thompson, mine's going up instead of going down. And so that's why the increase of that. And we got pretty good bit of money left in there now this year. And we added to it just anticipating that. But I don't think we're going to really need it. So Liz, you can cut that probably about $2,000 if you'd like. It's my guesstimate. Thank you. On 635, that's what we repair our fire trucks out of and other vehicles we have. And we had quite a bit of expenditures in fixing fire trucks this year, and that's still going on. We have an aging fleet, and that's just what you're going to have with the aging fleet. And we're already in the negative on that one, $4,523 this year already. And so that's what, y'all see us increased it to 40,000, over 30,000 last year. We're just anticipating loss on there. On 636 of equipment, we got several things we just have not got to this year yet. That's why we haven't spent all of our money on that line item, but we're probably going to. We increased it by $1,000 this year just due to inflation of some of these costs that I've heard coming down. Like the SCBA testing, that's going up this year. I heard from a guy the other day it's going to go up $5 per pack. I mean, that's going to add up quick. That's why we added the extra $1,000 in there, this year's budget. All right, 640 on rentals. It's overage on our copy machine, and that's, I don't really ain't sure why we're over, but we are. And so we're probably going to go in the negative on that this year. Carolyn, you got anything to add to that one?
Well, we're making more copies in our contract.
Right.
Specified, and that's why we're making overage.
Right. I apologize. She told me this afternoon, but I forgot it already. Sorry about that. I'm going to go to 650, community risk. That's our fire prevention stuff. We increased it just because we're really down low on supplies. We have no fire prevention supplies left hardly at all. And we would like to get some up to, of course, we might not need it this year. I don't know if we're going to get to the schools in October during fire prevention month or not. So that's one area we'll probably be able to cut, Liz. So we do have a plan for that, though. We're going to try to do something really cool for the kids. 685 in training. We upped that a little bit, the simple fact cost of the EMT class, and we got a refresher this year. That always increases everybody because we have to have everybody recerted this year coming up. Every 2 years we do a recert. So on 687 on the EOC, that was for the we're adding an extra, how much we had? We had a good bit, but it was to add a new control box for the sirens and dispatch. For them to set that off. The box they had has been there for roughly around 18 years.
2002.
Since 2002, and it's causing us a lot of problems, as Dan told me. So we're covering that on our budget. That's what that increase is for, and that line item. Sir? Mhm. On 695, we increased it just a little bit. Some fact, because dues on the Southeastern Chiefs Association went up $25. That was some fact that that was for me, and if we need to cut it, we can cut it 100%. It just $729, Liz. Specialized equipment. We have some dilapidated equipment, and it's getting old, so we're looking, trying to the future, try to start replacing some of it, slowly but surely. So that's what some of the increases from last year to this year are. A lot of it is, we have a lot of our SCBA air bottles, they're at the end of their shelf life. You can't use them after 10 years. And 10 years ago, we got a grant, and then we bought a bunch of them. So we're at the end of that 10-year mark, so we had to replace them. They're quite expensive. That's what that big jump in that line item is. $730, Liz? This is about the same as it was last year. We added a few things in here. The Life Pack 15 is the biggest thing we added. We're currently using Life Pack 12s. We just got one Life Pack 15 off our EMSOF money. And those are $23,000 a piece. That's what a lot of the big jump in this line item is. Our 12s are into their shelf life. They won't recertify them if they break. And they're old, and we can have one break at any moment. So I just put in the budget to have it covered. That way we're not coming up emergency money for that. And 749 of that, 749, we increased it a good bit. That's for mattresses at fire stations. We got some that's been there since, I think, about 2013 in one of our stations. So we got to replace 12 of them this year. That's what we counted up. And that's all I have for increases. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they want to go over? I'll be by my phone or email if anybody has any questions later on.
Okay, I guess I want to mention to everybody, I haven't really discussed this at length with anybody because I don't know the details of what I'm going to discuss yet, and that is it time to build a new police station? We opened bids. For those of you who don't know, we opened street bids last Monday, and we got somewhat of a blessing of a rate, 1.02 interest rate on $4 million. That was a kind of a wow moment, I think, for all of us. I've been doing some checking, and it appears that it's that way in the bond market. I don't know how long it's going to stay that way, and we really don't know what we want. But, board, I want to emphasize in front of everybody in here that it's not just a police department. You know, it's also another court. It's also a dispatch center. Dispatch is the hub of everything everybody in this room does. And, you know, it's also evidence preservation, room for that. It is office space and interrogations. It is space for vehicles and some covered parking. And out here, I want to tell you, you guys that are police officers, I believe it is April 1st. I can go back and look, but I believe it's April 1st of next year. We will write the last check that will pay off the police station that was built in 1995, 25 years ago. So employees come and employees go, and you lose sight of that long-term debt. But there's a lot of debt that's going to be paid off next year. And, you know, in my opinion, we outgrew, or the city outgrew that station probably 12, 15 years ago, I'm thinking. You know, one of the things I've learned from dealing with West Rankin and that wastewater treatment plant down there, from an engineering standpoint, you try to build 4 times what you need when you're building public facilities like that. So you don't build, that's the trap that schools are in today. They build only what you need. You can't build for tomorrow. And I've spoken at length with Jamie Ware about this. Whatever construct or ideas we come up with, as we begin to assign cost to that, it's got to be something that's expandable over time. And that's the reason why we bought that 10 acres next door. So I know you fire guys care less about a police station, but that's going to be a dispatch center that's going to take care of you and get the big red fire truck where it needs to go. Critical. So I don't know if we're there. I know it bears study and quickly to come back. I can foresee the possibility of that, but boy, we're going to have to, you are going to have to, and we are going to have to wrestle with, is it time to take that step? Also, folks, this past June, I wrote the last check for $100,000. We bought that 10 acres for $600,000 and paid off over 6 years. So it's not like this is a happenstance moment that we've arrived at. We paid for it 1 year at a time and got that property paid for. And that's what we're trying to convert our lives here in Brandon to, is you don't borrow money forever to try to, because Brandon got caught borrowing too much money over time, but just trying to take care of needs. We still got a lot of needs. But if you can reach a point in time where if you got enough water in the water department and you need a water well, then put the water well in, be done with it. It's kind of that way. If we need to build a police station, then we bought the property, we got the property. We can build anytime we get ready. So these are long-term, 25, 30-year questions, and this time, after 25 years, nobody knew 25 years ago what Brandon was going to be today. You know, I can go back and get the population numbers and show you. You know, but we've outrun our fire department, we've outrun our police department, we've outrun dispatch, we've outrun the water system, we've outrun the sewer system, we've outrun everything with growth, and we want growth. But at the same time, somebody's got to pay the pauper to take care of the people that are moving here. So it's a serious discussion that we need to have, and we're going to get about studying it and try to get you the best information we can as fast as we can as we go forward into this fall. So either one of y'all want to add anything to new dispatch, police station? Did I miss anything? Evidence rooms, office space, courtroom? We're not far from needing, where's Dan? Dan in here? Dan, how many hours of the day do we have one dispatcher sitting there? None. All night long there's 2. Got to have them. So we're not a little bitty town anymore, folks. We're just not. And this next census is going to show that we're probably bumping 25,000 people, and it's growing fast. As fast as you build those homes out there, people are buying them. So it's up to this board to find that solution. And I know we'll do it. If it's this year, then we'll get to work on it. You want to hit the pause button and wait a year, we're ready to go. So, but it would behoove us to have those plans going forward. So I'd like you to think and pray on that. Either one of you got anything? Miss Angela, you got anything? Miss Liz? Okay. All right. Thank y'all for coming. If you got any questions, let these 2 brilliant minds right here know, okay? All right. So we're done until tomorrow night, 5:30. We'll come back in here.